Good morning, everyone. This is Manoj M from Market Ideas of Profit once again. And I was unable to do a weekend analysis for the last week beginning because I was traveling and then coming back on a Monday morning was not possible to do it. And then the week just flashed by and I thought we will do an analysis near the month end. So what's happening here is today's Thursday, is the 28th of November. We're closing in on a month now, and it's a good time to look at what the Nifty and the Bank Nifty are doing on a starting from a higher time frame and see what's happening and what's coming. So with that in mind, what you see on your screen is the Nifty futures chart with a monthly time frame. And I'm going to take 3 time frames, the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and then probably we'll boil down to something lower on the hourly to give you a perspective of what can happen today and tomorrow. So that's what we're going to do in this video on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty on the futures chart. So without wasting more time, let's analyze what the Nifty is giving us. And what the Nifty is giving us, this is the last month's candle. This is the month of November that we're seeing, and we're just beginning to crop up higher from the lows that we saw in the month of October. Now, if we are to close above this particular line, which is 24,000 odd, we should be looking at a positive development for the next month. And we could be heading higher to the tops at 26,000 once again. This is what the monthly chart is telling me on the on the Nifty, that if we close above 24,000, whatever 20 odd points that we closed, that was the low of the particular month of November. And if you look at the close about 24,186. So we're above that close of October, and that augurs well. Now there are 2 days of trading left, today and tomorrow. And if we close the month above 24,214, 24,186, we should be good for the next month of December and probably head higher somewhere in the higher regions of this red candle, or maybe even the top of 26,000 is what we can expect from what we're reading on the monthly chart. Now let's look at what the weekly is giving us in the same context. So what is happening is, in the current week, we've opened higher. We've opened with a gap up on Monday, and today is Thursday. So we have sustained that gap up for the entire week for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we are higher. And suppose we stay higher for the next 2 days, we will be in this range. And the new range would be starting from 24,200 odd to 26,000. And that would be a good 2,000 point range to be in for the next month. This is what the weekly tells us. So we have opened significantly higher than what the last weekly close was, and that's good news. Let's look at what the daily tells us on the last 3-4 days action. So if you see, for the last 3 days, we have been totally sideways and there has been no movement. We've actually stayed within the range of 24,400 to the top and 24,130, 150 on the bottom. That's a 250 point range. We've consistently touched the top and the bottom, and the market has found a good sweet spot. It's maintaining this equilibrium, and we are not moving anything from the range. So essentially what happens is that now on a breakout of this range is what we should be looking at, some kind of a move building up. So generally when the market ranges, it's preparing for a big move in either directions. That's what the market tells us. The market tells us that on a breach of 24,375, we could be heading higher. In my analysis, the next destination on the top is 24,660. And if we move lower, then the next destination on the downside could be somewhere between, the first stop would be somewhere around this, which is the 23,850 point. So we're looking at these two levels with a lot of interest. with a lot of interest. But when do these levels come? These levels come after we breach either the bottom or the top. So the moment we breach 24,375, we look for 24,660. And if we happen to breach 24,131 is when we aim for 23,845. So this is going to be the Lakshman Rekha as far as the Nifty is concerned for the coming period. Now let's go down to the 1 hour time frame and see what's in store for us today. So if you go on the 1 hour, very, very easily said, we are looking at some kind of a, some kind of a move. Now, this is a very important observation that we are making here. This is telling me a story, and I'm going to try and predict as to what are we going to expect today. This particular wick that you see has gone above the levels that we had on the 25th, and then we wicked out and we came down. So in my assessment, we are now aiming for the lows. We are aiming for somewhere, let me go into the daily, and we are aiming for the bottom ranges of our move. So we are going to aim for 24,150 odd in my assessment of what's going to happen in the coming day. So in these last 2 days, if we continue to go deeper, so my first target for today is going to be this low of the yesterday, which is going to be the 24,287. And then I noticed there is some support at this level, which is in form of this fair value gap. So we will wait for this fair value gap to get negated. And if we breach this level of 24,276.90 is when we take a short. So there are two scenarios that are building up in today's trade. I'm going to sketch them out. You could be heading lower right in the beginning, and either you can be taking a bounce and then heading higher. This could be one trajectory that we could follow, and I would call this as the blue trajectory. This is what I generally use. And on the other side, we could be going deeper, breaking this fair value gap, first testing the lows of yesterday, breaking this fair value gap that we have on the 4 hour, retesting it, and probably then looking to go down and test these areas, which is the 24,185 important mark that I was telling you about. And this would be my red trajectory for the day. So these are the two scenarios that are building up for today and tomorrow's trade in the Nifty. So this is the pivotal point, 24,287, the range between 24,287 and 24,276. So we are in a no trade zone at the moment. The trade decisions come as we approach this level between 24,287 and 24,267. We see what happens in this area. If it breaks down, we take a short to 24,185. If it bounces back, we take a long to 24,375, and then further up to probably this level is where we can look at in today's trade. So these are the scenarios that are developing on the Nifty. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you the markers here. So sorry. So this is going to be a marker. 24,435 could be the target, and this could be 24,185. So if you want, you can take a screenshot, or you can look at this video again and mark your level. No, it's fine. I have not muted myself. We're good. So this is what I see on the Nifty. And now let me go to the Bank Nifty and see what's happening on the Bank Nifty. And we'll move with the monthly time frame first. So this is the Bank Nifty chart. I'm going to just see what we are doing on the monthly. And Bank Nifty is doing a little better than what the Nifty was doing. And the range that I want to set myself up is I want to remain above 51,944 for the coming month to be able to sustain and stay higher for the next month. If I remain above 51,944, I'm in the game to move my December month between this range, which will be the range between, which will be the range between 51,944, 51,930, and 53,654, which is going to be my range for December. The moment I close myself above this level of 51,931, I'm predicting that we will be above this range, and in December we will be in this range. Let's go to the weekly and see what the weekly is giving us. So, like in the Nifty, in the current week, we've opened with a gap up, and that has helped us see that threshold of 51,920 tested once or twice and stay above it. So like I reported in the monthly, if we remain above 51,933, we will remain in December in these areas, 51,933 and 53,674 in December until we close below 51,934 30. We are not going to take any shorts. We're going to remain positive and target 53,675 in December. The moment we see that we are closing above this blue line, the 51,933 level. Let's look at what is there on the daily. On the daily, we have the same situation. We are sideways like in the Nifty, and the range that we have established in the Bank Nifty is this level of 53,460, and to the downside we have maintained this level of 51,722. So what is the range that we have taken in the last 3 weeks? Last 3 days, we've had about 824 points as our range, and we've been yo-yoing around that range. And now what we see here is yesterday, like in the Nifty, we have actually swept the highs that we made on Tuesday. And that tells me that we could be heading lower on the Bank Nifty also in what can happen today. But we're not going to be taking a bias yet. We're going to study what's going to happen. And what you see here is this is the important point that I look at. If I have swept the highs, there were these equal highs that you made on Tuesday, and that again was tested yesterday, but we got rejected from the highs and we have come lower. And what we have here is a fair value gap right now, which we're sitting in right now on the 1 hour, and we are creeping lower on it, and we're going to see what's in store. So given yesterday's candle, what we've done is we have taken swept the high and we went lower, and we have come back in again. So let's see what happened. So we went lower as we opened, and then we went higher, we swept the highs, and now we're seeking lower levels. So when you get a formation of this kind of a candle, our first bias is to test yesterday's low, is what I would think can happen, but this is not a certainty. This is something that can happen. There's another way I look at it is a 50% mark of yesterday's move, and this is my threshold level. This is going to be my threshold level. If we cross below 52,252.7, 52,250, then we are looking at lower levels, or else we could be looking at a bounce here. So the two scenarios that are building today on this chart, we'll need to go to drill down to an even lower time frame to build our narrative for today. And what I see is we have a beautiful fair value gap at this level, which is where we are going to be finding our crux of our pivotal point for the day. This is an important level to look at, and this is where a breach of this level or a respect of this level is going to tell me how the day is going to go. So there's this range between 52,225 and 52,197 is where the decisions are going to be made today. So how am I going to plan my trade for the day? So what I'm going to look at is I'm expecting the markets to come either in this way and test this level first. And then if I see a bounce from here, then we can go higher and we can cross the higher path and take it higher from here. Now this is going to be my blue trajectory, the bullish trajectory that I think we can get. And then there's a bearish trajectory that we can get. We can move lower and we can probably breach this level. And if we breach this level, we can have a retest, and then we will be testing the levels, the lows of yesterday's trade, which is what can happen. So this particular level is going to be fine-tuned into this level now, and I'm going to mark the level for you. So 52,032 is something that is going to be I'm going to watch, and then 51,940 could be coming. And on the top, what are the levels that we have? I'll go on the hourly to see what are the levels that are on the top. On the top, I could be looking at these levels. So my analysis on the long side would then take me to a level which could be the first level that we would target is 52,463. And then we can ride, if we go higher, we can ride this and we can take it right up to 52,735 in the coming period. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, but that's what I think is going to transpire. So we go back on our 15-minute and you'll get an idea as to what's happening. And this is what I'm seeing on the 15-minute. We could be, looking at this trajectory. Now, this is the red trajectory, so I'm going to mark it down with red. And then we could go lower too. So in the red trajectory, we could even go further down, test these levels, and then go down to test the 51,722. If not today, we could do that tomorrow too, but that would be the destination for the trade on the two sides in the coming 2 days. So guys, this is my analysis for the Nifty and the Bank Nifty as to what we are looking on the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, and also drill down to the 1 hour and the 15 minutes in case of the Bank Nifty to get us down to the real levels that are going to call the shots in today's trading and the trading to come in the coming days. This is an analysis, a comprehensive analysis of what I see, what the charts tell me, what the candlesticks tell me. And yes, we can reassess what's moving based on what levels we've drawn on our analysis today, and we can reanalyze our charts based on what we see in the coming days. So this is it for this video. I hope this gives you value. I'm basing my readings on a lot of important things that I see on the charts, and trust me, the price intention is easily evident when you see the candlesticks, and when the price gives you a move, it tells you what it's trying to do. And all that we need to understand is these important levels. And when the price moves in a particular direction, you understand where it's headed. When you draw these levels, it tells you what the destination is. It's like a train that is an up and a down, like you call it in the train versions. It's going up when it's going to a particular direction. When it's going down, it's going in a particular direction. So if the train is coined as an up direction, there are stations that are designated in that direction, and that's where the train will go and stop. It will not stop anywhere in the middle. Similar analogy in price. When it will go, it will take an uptrend. These are the levels it will tag, and that's where it will decide what is the next level it is going to take to. And if it's going to go down, what are the levels it's going to tag on the downside in the downtrend, and we will get a decision as to whether the trend will continue or trend will reverse at that particular junction. And we can only take decisions when the junction arrives. That's the gist of the way I trade. My trade is destination based. And if I know the destination, that all I need to do in the second step is to find out the narrative as to what is going to lead me to that destination that gives me the best risk and reward entry point. And that's where I can start to trade. That's the way I trade. And that is the best way to find the best risk reward entry points that you can do on a chart. That's it for today. Hope this gives you value. Give this video a thumbs up if you understand and like what I'm trying to focus on this video. Do subscribe to the channel if you're here for the first time, and yes, share it with friends and family who you think can benefit from this analysis. Until the next time, thanks for being with me and watching this video with me. Thank you.